Okay, well, perfect. We're live. We're gonna give 2-3 minutes for people to join us, and then we will start our webinar. Okay, I can see some students joining us. Good. Well, I think we're good to go. Welcome everyone to our third webinar of MIM this year. We're currently in admission cycle and we would like to give you some tips for what's upcoming. If you're a new student applying, if you're a student that is wanting to apply for next year, you're very welcome. We're just thinking about Africa Business School and the MIM as a potential option for you. We are here today to have some student testimonial. We've presented previously content about the program, a bit of tips on how the admission process works, what to expect, etc. And today we would like you to have a good insight about how the program works from our students, which I think is one of the most reliable experiences and the best way to learn. Let me reintroduce myself. You've seen me a couple of times now. My name is Shaima Saji. I'm the program officer for the MIM International Management Program, and I'm very happy to guide you through our program this year and next year through admission cycle. With us today, I have Ahmedou Korkaba and Adam El Emri, one of our very, very, very good students in the cohort that we're very happy to have. I'm gonna leave you the floor to introduce yourselves, and then we will jump in into the main content of the webinar. Go ahead, Ahmedou.
Hello everyone, my name is Ahmadou Korkaba, and I am a student at the MIM program at Africa Business School. And I'm really happy to be here today to give you some advice and to share with you my experience through the admission process and within the school.
Perfect, thank you. Moving on to Adam, your turn.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Shaima, for your invitation, and it's a pleasure to participate in this webinar to share my experience in the Africa Business School.
Good, good, perfect. Well, let me explain to you and to your audience how this is going to be working. We will take about 25 to 30 minutes to ask three potential interesting questions for you. You will have the floor to answer them, and then we will open the floor for any additional questions that our audience might have. So, the first one, and we will do it in order of practice of the program, would be admissions. We've already explained what do we expect from students, what we are looking for, how the steps work, but I would like to get your personal insights and testimonial about how the admission process worked for you. So, since the day you applied online, till your actual enrollment. So, going through the main online test that is written and then the interview. Give us some insights, maybe your feedback, and some tips for our new students. Ahmadu, floor is yours.
Yeah, so thank you, Simon. And yeah, it was really first a very good experience. And as Simon mentioned, it started first by the application online. I think if you are here today, it means that you all did that first, and then you have all those tests that are online. They are really practical tests and sometimes linguistic tests, and they do those tests to just to see your business acumen and so on. So don't worry about it, just prepare yourself and be ready for that. And then you have the interviews. When the interviews, first to go to the interviews, you need to pass the tests and so on that are online. So you will meet one by one to professors from ABS, and they will interview to ask you your background, your motivations. Why do you want to do a master in international management? What are your motivations, and how are you going to use this master after your graduation? Because it's not just doing it; it's knowing that you have like a really motivation behind this application. It's not just you want this, and then after the interviews, of course, it comes the admission, and they will send you an admission letter. And I hope that most of you will receive that for sure. And I think that's a summary of what I went through. And the test I mentioned, I think it's online. There are linguistic language tests. It will be in English mainly because the program is in English. And the other test, it's a little bit not that technical, but it's related to business acumen and so on. So if you have a background in other fields than business, don't worry. Just read a little bit about how business works, or just say your interest in business, and that's it. You will succeed.
Good. I'm gonna pick up this last thing that you just mentioned. So within that written test that you said they need to familiarize themselves with a bit of business, right? Do
Yeah.
you remember anything specific, any tip that helped you through the test? Because it's online, but you have time, right? It's the time constraints. And you have a bit of questions that you will have to run through about 1 hour 40. So can you tell us how did you manage that? Did you try it before? Did you train yourself? How did it work for you?
Yeah, first, for I said it's business. It's a little bit, if I remember, it was a little bit like a case study. We have questions. Some questions they are MCQs, so you have multiple answers to select, and some questions you need to do some logic. It's not mathematics. I will not call it mathematics because it's not something that is harder. That will say if you don't have a background in mathematics, you cannot solve them. But you need a bit logic. I mean, for example, if you are buying, I think let's say 5 kilograms of rice or something from a market or somewhere, and the cost of 1 kilogram is for example 10 dirhams. You need to find that it's the total cost, it's 5 times 10. That's it. It's the easiest way, and I think that everyone who has a bachelor degree can do that easily. And the second thing is that you can practice between you peers, like you are applicant now, and if you know someone who's doing the same thing, you can contact them and work together to ask each other questions. And for example, what is the best strategy to go to this market, or to do this, or to read some articles. And there are online platforms like that you can use, or YouTube. Personally, I used YouTube to train myself a little bit, but I didn't invest a lot of time in that. The most important thing is that you stay focused and you manage the time very well, because as Simon mentioned, it's very short. And I remember one question, it was a little bit, I had the option to record myself, and I had the possibility to try it 3 times, and I didn't realize that it was the third time was the last time, and I almost failed it. But the thing is that it's cumulative. I catch up to the next step. So manage your time very well. That's the conclusion that I will tell you. If you manage your time, you will pass the test. If not, it will be a bit challenging for you to get in.
Correct, correct. And I think that's one of the most important part of it, managing your time, and then actually reading very well what the exercise is asking you for, right? Because once
Yes.
you know what they're asking you, you can actually manage your time and be able to efficiently answer. But thank you so much for Ahmed. I think we got a bit of insight from that. What about you, Adam? Can you tell us a little bit your feeling about the admission test in general and the procedure as well?
Okay, so I think Ahmed said it all, but I can like give you my experience. I remember when I got selected to take the exam. I think I remember it was online, so I was abroad, and thankfully I could pass the exam. So at the beginning, like as you said, when if there's an advice that I can give you is the time management, because the time is very short. So I remember it was about 4 or 5 parts within the exam. Some questions, some quantitative and qualitative questions. So something like mathematics, it's not that hard. So I would say it's a high school level. And of course, there is some business questions. Of course, you should have an idea on how business works and how it's going on within the business in general. So it's not something really complicated. Of course, in order to prepare for this exam, what I would recommend is maybe just looking in the internet about the exams of business schools. So I would say it was similar to many exams that I saw on the internet. Quite similar also to GMAT questions. It's not that hard, but of course, because both exams have different purposes, but I would say they have a lot of similarities. Yeah, and of course, just read the question carefully, take your time, and of course, don't forget to pass whenever you're stuck. Don't stay for a long time in one question. Just move on, and this way maybe you'll pass your exam.
Good, good, good. Thank you. Then, my follow-up question would be for both of you, because we mentioned that this happens online, right? So maybe students have a bit of wondering about how that works. So we already mentioned that there's this online platform that we use, and it's very user-friendly. Can you just tell us how you received your login, how you were able to access it, if it was easy to get along with that, etc. Ahmadu?
Yes, yes, sure, Saima. Yeah, actually, I think the platform is very easy to use because if you know how to use, for example, LinkedIn or any other platform, it will be easier for you. The only advice that I will have for you is to make sure that you have a very good internet, because going there and starting the test and then internet go down and so on, something like that, it will reduce your chances of getting in. So make sure that you have very good internet and you are in a place where no one far from distraction, so you are focused. That's the advice that I will give you during the day of the test. Good internet, a calm place where you are alone, and you can have headphones because you will need probably to record yourself, and that will be very good for you.
Good advice. Adam?
Yes, yeah. In order to take the exam, so you can succeed. I think you should have a quiet place, good internet connection. So I remember that we received an email with all details, so with all links to the platform and also the instructions. So I think it was easy for me. Just I entered the link and I followed the procedures and the registration in the platform. Then we started. So you should have a computer with a good connection, maybe your microphone, because as my colleague said, you have to record yourself on a case study. So yeah, that's it.
Good. We're receiving one question regarding admissions. It says, are the tests the students pass decisive in the admission process? The answer is yes. How it works is once you submit your application, our admission officer gets back to you saying, okay, so your file is completed now, so you can actually move on to the next step. The first step is written test, and this is the platform we're talking about. It's a test that takes about 1 hour 40 for 4 subjects, mostly case studies, and of course it has weight on either you get into the program or not. This first written test is the one that will decide whether or not you get into the second step, which is the interview. So it's very important to manage your time, to be able to be concentrated, because this is the first, let's say, pillar of your admissions. Once you've moved from the first one, you get into the interview. This is what we will discuss in a bit more in detail. That interview will be also a way to get to know you. Professors ask you a bit more about your pathway, what you've done before, what you want to do in the future, and then that grade plus the grade from the admission test, the written one, and the grade from your English test will be the average score of your admission grade. And then, depending on how you rank, you will be admitted to the cohort or not. So they have a lot of weight. So you do application, you have a good student file, and then after that you do written and interview. For the test, please. So we have another question regarding that. Where and how can we prepare for the test, please? So the first one, written test, as Adam and Ahmad already mentioned, those are business school tests. So if you get into the internet, ask for admission test for business school on the graduate level. It should be similar to GMAT. So we're trying to assess students around 4 areas: critical thinking, being able to reflect and take decisions, then decision making, so real case studies from the business world in industries, and be able to see how you would react and reflect in the situation. Following up with then problem solving, and then numerical reasoning, which, as mentioned, is not pure math, so you don't have to come from a very mathematical background. because this is open to bachelors and majors in different fields. But you need to have a certain, let's say, reasoning and logic in how to deal with numerical reasoning in real case studies. So that's how it works. So just log into the internet, look for GMAT questions around this field, and you should be good to go. Good. So we covered questions regarding admissions for now, regarding platform. You can have more details through our website as well, and if you reach out to our admission officer, they can walk you through all the steps. What are the procedures of securing an admission, and also how much is tuition fee? So procedures of securing admission, as I mentioned, is first one, submit your application. Just make sure you're doing it before the 15th of April, which is our deadline. After that, you will get in touch with admissions officers and then pass your written test first, English test, and then interview. Average score of those will be your admission grade, and depending on how you do, you will be admitted to the program. We will tackle the fees question afterwards when we tackle also scholarships. Are we going to record ourselves during the test? Is part of a question. Yes. So there are several questions. You either answer in paragraphs, or either there a recording question in which we need to hear you actually answer whatever the test is asking you for. So make sure your camera and your microphone is really working well.
Yeah.
Good. Let's move on then to my second big question. And this is I wanna hear from you, your experience from an academic point of view in the program. So this is your second semester. You will be wrapping it up in about 1 month and a half, right? So you have met a lot of students, a lot of professors. You've done a lot of modules so far. So if you can give us a bit of, your feedback on how the first semester was, the second semester, the modules, the richness of the program, etc. I think that would give an insight to future students to know what to expect and what kind of things they should be learning. Floor to you, Adam. Maybe this time let's switch roles.
Okay. So regarding the academic part of the master, yeah, I'm really satisfied about the program so far. As you said, we're in second semester. So in the first semester, we had some foundational modules like international management, international trade. Sorry, we had international leadership, data analysis for decision making. So basically, at the first semester, we had some modules so that give us some tools so we can dig into the business world and gain the insight in order to develop our personal approach to analyze in the business. So regarding this semester, so we have some functional modules like global supply chain management. We have international finance and management control. So yeah, I think the course are very well organized. I'm satisfied also about the staff and the professor. They are available whenever we send them the email. We can reach them whenever you want, whenever we want. So yeah, overall, I would say it's a good experience for me. Of course, I would be lying if I said it was easy. Of course, there's always some challenges because if you want to gain some valuable program information, so you can attain maybe a firm understanding of the concept of businesses, you should pass through some case studies, some complicated case studies. But of course, there's something positive. I would say positive pressure, maybe that extract the best from you and push your limits. So yeah, that's it.
Good. So we covered, let's say, the structure and the content. What about, and I think Ahmed, you can answer this. What about the teaching styles? Because we are at Africa Business, we're very project oriented, right? You have a lot of hands on the projects, on the modules, on the subject. So can you tell us a little bit more about how do you go through classes? What kind of assignments you have? Yeah, a bit of feedback on that.
Yes, thank you, Saima and Adam. I will follow up just what Adam said, because he said if he says it is easy to have this master and to go through the program, he'll be lying, and that's true. Why? Because in the real world, business is not easy. That's why managers, they are very well paid, and they spend like 24 hours per week, 7 days per week, working only on making one decision, because it's not something easy. It's challenging. So here how the courses they are organized. It helps us like to get hands on some real business cases that are like problems that companies are facing in real life, and we try to solve them and to make recommendations to help them make the better decisions for their businesses. Like we have courses that we attend on class all the time, and then we have homeworks that we do in groups and sometimes a little bit individually, because we are also encouraging teamwork. Like we work between our students together, we switch between team members and so on, like just to train ourselves to work with different people and people with different backgrounds. Because if you come to MIM, it's an international master, which means that you are being trained to work everywhere in the world, be it in Africa, in Morocco, in another country. So you will meet people from different countries, from different backgrounds, and from different cultures. And that's the aim of the master. It's to prepare us to be managers, like cross-cultural managers. So they helps us like mix us with different students. And sometimes, like I remember we had a practice project. It was the X-Culture project. We worked with people from in my team. I had someone from India, like two people from the US, one from Canada, and it was very challenging because first the communication, we don't speak in the same way, and second it was the time zone, and all those are within challenges that we face to prepare us in the real world. So I think the master is really very practical things, and that you want or you don't want it. If you are here, you will succeed. That's for sure. Because if you don't want your colleagues, they will push you to succeed. If they don't do it, the professor will push you all to succeed. And there is also the administration. They support us everything. Whenever you need something, they are available here to support you. So I think the life here is on campus just. The best place to be for someone who wants to study and someone who wants to become a business manager one day.
Good. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you for your very valuable feedback. What we're gonna do now is shoot on the last question that I have for you, and then we can just answer everything that has been popping into my chat from the audience. So, last one, last but not least. Now that you're in the masters, right? You will be graduating next year, and we're very excited for that. Can you tell us a little bit more about how is this master feeding into your career objectives and your career plan? So what was the motivation of you joining actually, and how is this getting like it's shaping your future? And how you see yourself in, let's say, after graduation, 5, 10 years. Adam first.
Okay, so for me, like as a person who has a background in international relations, I joined this master maybe to find or to add the business part to my career. So as a person who is willing to work in consulting, like maybe in short and medium terms, I would say it was, and it is, and it will be the best option for me. Like is this master, of course, because as we developed so far in this webinar regarding the material given and the courses provided within this master program, is that they give you the tools, and maybe you have a lot of modules that put you like in real business world with the real case studies. So for me, as a person who is willing to go to consulting, I found it like the perfect program for me. And yeah, so far we had a lot of courses and case studies, because maybe the professors also, they have over 15 and 20 years of experience in consulting. So we are close to the field, and yeah, and we believe like every month we are even closer and closer to our objectives. So that's my personal opinion.
Good. Ahmed, your turn.
Yes, this is first a very personal question that all of you might expect during the interview. They will ask you why this master, and where is the link between this master and your career, what you want to do then. And but as Adam mentioned before, like we have several modules, and they open the way to several career paths you can do, and like it's up to you what you want to. Personally, like I feel that it was my main purpose since I joined this master. I wanted to become someone, a business manager, to have this business sense, someone who would be able to become a successful entrepreneur. And for that, you need to have to be able to learn how business works, to manage, to work with people from different backgrounds, and to manage teams. And I think I'm learning all those qualities and improving my skills, and that doesn't limit your scope to that things. We mentioned, we're doing strategy, we're doing marketing, we're doing finance, and so on. So everything that you want to do, it's not only if you, I might become a consultant, because if you say consultant, it means completely also someone who manages business, who helps businesses make their strategic decisions, be it in marketing, in finance, in other things. So you are really, the choice is up to you, but make sure that you make the right choice and you find argumentations and alignment with your career goals, because during the interviews they will ask you it too. And the only way that you will enjoy the master here, when you will get in, if it is if you have a clear vision of where you want to be and who you want to be, then you know what is important for you and you will get it. So I think that's the only advice that I can give you regarding that things about career orientation.
Correct.
And
Correct.
it's
And you're very right on that point, because on interview, on admissions, we want to see candidates that are sure of what they want to do, that they are really positive about this pathway, that they have some initiative. Just because also the third semester and you haven't been there yet, so you will be seeing this on October. But this is the business development semester, so in which you will have a lot of room in the modules to actually innovate and be a business developer, see if you can take some kind of entrepreneurship and be able to actually have a space to grow, not just academically but potentially develop your own projects or your own startup. So we want to see students that have a lot of ambition, not just in learning but also in taking initiative, and that's both academically and also in student life. We have many clubs really opening and happening. Ahmed is part of one, Adam is part of another one. We will have time in another webinar to just present student life. So we will be following up on that. But really, just be confident about yourself. Be sure about what you want to communicate and clearly get there the message, and you should be fine. Thank you so much, Ahmed and Adam, for your very valuable info. I think that students' perspective is also important because you guys are the ones, in the eye of the hurricane of the program. So I'm very happy I got to host you in this webinar. Let us just run through a couple of questions that we have, and then we will wrap it up. So first one here is, and for the eligibility, is it necessary to have a bachelor in business field to apply? In my case, I have a bachelor in law and I'm planning for October 2024. So as mentioned, this master program is open to any field you've done before. So I think Adam is coming from an IR, right, field, and then Ahmed is coming from an engineering background, correct? So they're both doing international management, and this is open to people from different fields for one solemn reason, which is this is a master's to train leaders, to train managers. So whatever you've done before, taking these masters will help you to, let's say, upskill yourself academically and in soft skills as well, to be more of a leading role once you join the work market. So you should be fine in whatever bachelor you've done before. So you can apply having a law and planning degree. Um, can we expect an email about this test after April 15th? Yes, correct. Once you apply, we receive your application. Deadline is on the 15th. You will be in contact with admissions officers. We try to have very close contact with our prospects, and I think Adam and Ahmadu can even witness on that. When you were applying, you were constantly in contact with someone, right? Our sales at the time and admissions officers now, who gave you all the keys, right, regarding on when things were happening. Can you give us a bit of feedback on that just to clear up on this question?
Yes, for my case, it was really, they called me directly on my phone. I received an email, and I think it was 24 hours like that. I didn't answer. Then they called me to follow up with me to see if I'm okay, what's happening, to update me. So don't worry about that. Once you start the application process and you pass the pre-selection step, it will be fine. You will have someone who will follow up with you, will answer all your questions, will help you for the test and so on. If you have any technical issues, they will solve it quickly and immediately. They are very responsive, so don't worry about that. That's what I have to say.
Good, good, good. Adam, anything to add?
Yeah, same thing. I remember that when I took the exam and or before when I just got selected, I received some emails with the details, and then they called me on my phone. So in terms of communication, I would say that you don't have to worry about that. So you will receive everything on your email box or just on your phone. That's it.
Correct, correct. Okay, moving on. Next question. So, how many percent does the scholarship covers, and how can someone benefit from it? Well, lucky enough, we have here two scholarship students. Adam is an excellency scholarship student, but also has a social condition one, and Ahmadu as well. So let me just run you through the big lines, and then if you get in contact with the admissions officers, they can lay it down for you. We have two type of scholarships. The first one is excellency scholarship, which is based on merit. So depending on how you rank on the admission process, and that, as I mentioned previously, is the average score of your admission test, written interview, and then your English test. So depending on how you rank, you will be awarded. The department will award to you the excellency scholarship. And then if when you are granted admission to the program and you would like to apply for the social condition one, which helps students from a financial point of view, you can actually do the same. Once you're actually applying to the program, you will get a link to our scholarship platform in which you can already fill out your info, and then we can get back to you and tell you what kind of percentage we can help you with, what kind of financial aid you can be provided. And this can go from 0 to 100%. In the case of scholarship based on social condition, it covers tuition, housing on campus, and then a monthly allowance for your living costs. Excellency scholarship covers just your tuition, but they can be cumulable. So you can apply for the social condition one, and the excellency one is awarded to you. If you need more information, please make sure you're reaching out to our admissions officers. You can take even an appointment with them, and they can run you through the details of it. Okay, I think we've covered almost everything. Is it possible to pass the English test first? Because I've already passed this, and when is the other test coming? Yes, that's actually how the timeline of admission is working this year. So you will receive an invitation to do the English test first in our online platform as well. And then after that, you will get invited to the main entry test. So we will have several rounds of English tests. So if you've already passed it, that's okay. You've already done with that. If you haven't and you're still applying, don't worry about it. Once you finish your application, you will actually receive an invite to that. Good, good, good. When is the exam compared to the time of admission? What is the waiting time? Okay, so as I mentioned, 15th of April is our deadline to submit your application. Starting then is when we will be reaching out to you for all type of tests, the English one, the main written one, and then the interview. So don't panic, don't be afraid if you haven't received an email yet. It's because our application timeline is still open till April 15th. Once we're done with that, we'll get back to you and you will have all the dates about the exams that you're concerned with. Being able to do an internship. Yes, is there an internship program studying and being able to do an internship? So I think this is a good question for our students here. We encourage them to do summer internship, and I think you guys are working on that. And then a 6 month internship, which is the fourth semester before graduation. Ahmadu, for example, do you want to take the lead on this one?
So like about internship, like we have two internship normally. The first one it's after the end of this first year, like a summer internship. You can take up to 3 months, or if you want 4 months, if you don't want to rest at all. So it's like very open, and they encourage us to go to a company of your choice, and also they support us to find the internship. Like if for now you search for yourself, and also there are the administration and so on, the supporting department. They'll help us to or finding internships. And in the next year, we have a graduation internship. It will take 6 months, and yeah, you do wherever you want, and you can even do it in an international firm. For example, I can take the example, if I'm here and I'm from Guinea and I want to do an internship in Guinea, they encourage me, and of course you will keep your scholarship, you will have everything, financial support to do your internship there. So that's I think answers the question. I think.
Correct. So what we encourage is 3 months internship after your second semester, and it's gonna be very soon, right? Starting June maybe.
Yeah.
And that's just to help you get an insight about what kind of fields you prefer, what kind of jobs you're comfortable with, and have an experience on how to use what you learned in the first year in the actual job market. And then on the fourth semester, which is the graduating internship, you get to be 6 months in the industry, do a kind of a feedback report to the department, and that's mainly the main aim of that is to ensure the smooth transition between being a student and actually becoming an employee in the market. So it's gonna help our students just make it less anxious, and at the same time getting adapted to the new phase that you will be facing. The deadline was the 31st of March. Is it expanded or should we apply again? No, see, if you finish your application, you're good to go. We just extended our application deadline. So now you have more time. If you're done with it, you should be good to go. You already sent to students to take an English test and I didn't receive anything. Yeah, so as mentioned, there are several rounds of English tests, and depending on the list of applicants we have, we'll be doing that step by step. So we've already sent one first round. There will be a second round upcoming, so you will be able to take your English test. Don't worry about that. Good. Well, I think we've covered all questions. I'm going to leave you the floor for maybe a closing statement, something you want to share with our future students, any insights on how to just enjoy the program a bit more, a bit of a more relaxing tip. Tell us something that you've experienced that you've really enjoyed in the past year, and then we can just say goodbye. Adam, your call now.
Okay, sure. Yes. So, if there's any advice that I would say to my colleagues or potential colleagues, maybe in the future, so is that if you're looking for a business career, international management, maybe I believe that this master is the best option for you here in Morocco and even abroad, like in a continental level. So I would say that yeah, the courses are very well. Yeah, I'm satisfied about the master so far. Everything is good. The professors are available. Also, regarding the a crucial point that we did not elaborate, maybe is the administration here, is that because the administration is a crucial player within the journey of any student. So for me, what I think is that I really appreciate the effort made by the administration, and they are very, very helpful people, motivated people, and as a student, like you feel this connection where the administration is really doing their best, so you can enjoy your master degree and you can have your full potential and push your limits. So overall, that's the idea. Of course, if I saw a lot of questions and I receive a lot of questions regarding the background. Yeah, as I said before, I come from international relations, so don't forget that after this master, you will have the opportunity to join both the public and the private sector. So basically, any background like maybe enables you to apply to this master. We have people from applied economics background. We have people from civil engineering, like Ahmedu. We have people from computer science, people from data science, and of course, people from management. So it's a very, very rich and diverse atmosphere within our class. And believe me, it's a very interesting thing. So when you have people from different backgrounds, so you can then, within debates and discussions, analyze from different angles. So, and that's what make the classes more and more interesting. So just if you have any questions, of course, we are here. Apply, and I hope I wish you a good luck. So that's it.
Yeah, maybe a last word that I would say, it's challenge your limits. Like don't limit yourself in your capabilities of what you can do, because once you get here in this master, will have a lot of opportunities, and if you just say, yeah, this is enough, you stay there. But if you want also challenge your limit, you can go beyond, because the professors, they open the doors to several opportunities for you. that you can go beyond, you can connect with international people, international students. I think if not 100% of our professors, they are international professors. Maybe probably 99 or 98, they are international professors, and they are teaching also in other universities, and they have connections and so on. So once here, build your connections, challenge your limits, and as they say, learn and discover, and dare to try new things, and why not probably to have an internship abroad or something like that. So and if you have any other question, of course, as Adam said, you can contact us like on LinkedIn, or yeah, you can whatever you want, ask us, and we are here to help you. And I wish to meet all of you in 4 to 5 months now from now, and you will be very welcome here, of course.
Thank you so much, guys. It's really, I think, helpful for our prospects to just hear your experience and get the tips from the real students that are actually on the program. I have 2 minutes, so we're gonna just tackle two last questions. The first one is this master eligible to get a PhD afterwards? Absolutely, yes. And we have PhD programs at ABS as well. So once you finish your master's degree, we can potentially guide you through it, and we have a lot of professors that are doing research, PhD classes, etc. So that is actually a possibility for our students. Last one but not least, if you haven't received a link to your English test yet, as I mentioned, don't panic. It's fine. We do rounds, as in there are several batches of English tests. So if you haven't done it yet, you will be receiving an invite. This doesn't mean that you haven't made it to the admission test. Just wait. We have a long list of applicants, so your turn will come. We're extending application till the 15th of April, so it messed up a bit the timeline of those tests. But don't worry about it; you will get an invite very soon. So please keep the motivation up. We're very, very, very excited to potentially have you on campus, and looking forward to meet you in our interviews and in our first semester. Thank you so much for being here. We will make sure to follow up with you. I think you've already contacted me, some of you. But if you haven't, if you need more insights on how the program works, if you want to talk to our students, maybe if we can count any kind of anxiety that is coming within the admission cycle, 'cause that we know it's very hard on students, please let us know. My email is always displayed on my LinkedIn, on our website. I'm looking forward to really hear from you and potentially have you on campus. Thank you, Ahmadu. Thank you, Adam, and we will see you all very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.